Welcome to 5 Facts Wrestling. I'm your host, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and join me as we give you 5 facts on any given wrestling topic that you might not know. But before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And now, let's get our wrestling nerd on. Tony Shabani. Tony Shabani, the man, the myth, the legend, the sports broadcaster, the wrestling commentator, the voice of WCW during the Monday Night Wars and before. Cranky, but loyal to a fault, except that 1 year he spent with the WWF. Of course, he spoke those words and turned the tide of "that'll put butts in the seats" with Mick Foley. And of course, last but not least, he loves to say, "It's Sting!" Of course, these are all facts we know about Tony Shabani. But what are 5 facts we might not know? Let's find out. Number 5. Sports Awards. After a failed NWA TNA heel run, Tony needed something else to do outside of the realm of wrestling. Having the credentials Shabani had at this point in his career, it made sense that he moved into sports broadcasting. In 2004, he began sports radio for WSB AM radio and also worked for other small stations owned by different companies. Tony worked with WSB AM, consisting mainly of its sports segments on WSB Morning News. In addition, he was also part of Georgia Bulldog Radio Network, where he wrote and produced a show called Best of Bulldogs. This is one of Tony's biggest contributions to the sports radio world, as it won an AP award for Best Sports Programming in 2004. After being on the air for 2 years, Tony also won a Georgia Association of Broadcasters Award for Best Sports Story or Series in 2006. Number 4. Video producer. Remember those Coliseum videos that were wildly popular in the 80s and early 90s for WWF? Well, it turns out Tony, in the short time he was with the WWF, produced many of those videos. Number 3. Comic book. Tony Shabani is a man of many hobbies and talents, but did you know he's written his own graphic novel? The graphic novel follows the life of Tony Shabani and is very appropriately titled Butts in Seats, The Tony Shabani Story, poking fun at his controversial call on Mick Foley in 1999. Number 2. Real Life Heat with Bobby Heenan. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Tony Shabani have a storied past together at the broadcast table. They were heard on commentary for WCW Nitro broadcasts through the late 90s. In a Bobby Heenan shoot video by RF Video, Heenan accused Shabani of hiding finishes and angles on Nitro from him and Mike Tenay. Bobby felt that the motive behind this was Shabani's key to life was knowledge is power, thus making Bobby and Mike Tenay look bad. Number 1. Starbucks. That's right, he worked as a Starbucks barista in between wrestling jobs. While taking a break from wrestling, Tony found a love for his sports broadcasting. But as a man who likes to keep himself busy, that wasn't enough. In 2016, Shabani announced that he would be yelling out names on coffee cups as he was training to be a Starbucks barista. Tony admits the biggest part that lured him in was the benefits package that the company offered. And those were your 5 facts for today. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.